Welcome students. In this video, we will be discussing about recursive approach of deleting a node from linked list. Already in the previous video, we have been discussing about the iterative approach of the same concept. But now by taking the iterative approach, we will be trying to convert that iterative approach to recursive approach. So this is the snippet. Okay, this is the snippet that we have taken delete node. Okay, so the same snippet we are going to convert it into recursive code. Okay, so first of all we will start writing the recursive code with the same signature. Okay, with the same signature, remember that. If it is delete node, yes, here also just take they are delete node, but arguments and the return type, everything is going to be same, right? So the signature is going to be struct node star delete node. Okay, then the argument will be struct node star p comma struct node star q, struct node star q comma, then the next argument is going to be before position. Before position, let us take one more argument also. That argument is the value of I. Loop variable also we are going to take it as one of the argument. So int I becomes one argument and int position also becomes one more argument. That's it. Now inside this block, whenever I enter into a recursive block, first thing that strikes my mind is the bounding function or the base function, base condition. Base condition, what is this base condition is for? This base condition only is used to start or stop the recursion repetition. So first thing where we can stop the recursion is if position equal to 1, then we can stop. As here, look here on the left side also, if position is equal to 1, if we try to insert a node, if we try to delete a node, delete first node, then you can stop directly. So position, if it is equal to 1, then what is that I have to do? We have to be taking a new temporary pointer. We need to be taking the new temporary pointer, and with the help of this pointer, we need to preserve the address of second node, which is available in p of next. Okay, now because we preserve the address of second node, because first node is going to be it is going to be deleted. Address of first node is not important. Address of second node becomes important because that is going to be the first node hereafter. After that, after preserving the address of second node in temp, now it is time to delete the first node. So with the help of free function, deallocate the memory given for the first node, so it's free of p. Then after that, I think the address of the first node has changed. First node has changed because we have deleted first node. So I'll be returning the address of the new first node, return temp. Okay, this is one. So this if condition will stop, this if condition will be stopping recursion. Okay, is there anything else that we need to stop actually? First of all, when you have to continue the process, when the recursion should take place, when I is less than position. You can see here in while loop condition, while I less than position, only repetition of process is taking place. Wherever loop is occurring, they instead of that alternative only is recursion. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to write a condition else if I less than position. Suppose if position is not equal to 1, I have to be checking whether I less than position, and suppose if I less than position is true, then what I need to do? I need to change the value of q and I need to change the value of p. I think the two argument values need to be changed. So when you want to change the two argument values, call the function and change it. Here also just let us introduce R, recursive delete node. Okay, call the same function R delete node. Okay, R delete node of, instead of P, let us pass P of next, because we need to change P equal to P of next. Next one, we need to change Q to P. So instead of Q, pass P, comma I. Look at I. I think I have to be incremented. I think we missed it here itself. I should have been incremented one by one, because then only you see I have to be incremented. What is I here? I is the current node that we are checking actually. First time 1th node, next time 2nd node, next time 3rd node we will be checking. Okay, so it should be incremented every iteration. So here also I should be incremented by 1 every time when this recursion call is made. Position remains the same. Position remains the same, but I have to be incremented by 1 every time. Okay, fine. So this recursion call, okay, this recursion call will do the entire process of the while loop, whatever it is doing. Else, whatever after while loop will be executed with the help of this else only. Else part, what we have to do, we have to be, like linking Q of next, we should link it to P of next, and also we should be deleting the memory, we should be deallocating the memory allocated to pointer P, node P, and finally we'll just close this else condition, and outside, suppose if address is written, which means first node is changing. If it is not, let us return null. If that return statement is not working, then return null will be executing. So if null is written, the first node address is not changing. If some address other than null, if it is sent returned back, then it means that first node has been deleted. So this is the recursive approach. This is the recursive approach of the same iterative, like iterative snippet. Only one change that what we have done is that whatever while loop that we have taken, that while loop I converted it into a recursive call. That's it. Wherever loop is there, the loop that I have converted into recursive call. Right? So now what we will do is we will just take this snippet, we'll take this snippet and see how it is actually working, in the main memory part. Okay, so let us take the copy of this code. Okay, so this is a code available. So let us take a main memory. Okay, this is, let us consider this main memory. Okay, so we'll just write, this is main memory. Okay, main memory is going to have 3 different parts. Okay, the topmost part, and the bottommost part also. Okay, right? So even the bottommost part. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So this bottommost part is called as code section, where the source code of the code will be, like it's a executable binary form of the user source code will be stored here. Then coming here, this is heap memory. And the middle one is called a stack memory. It is stack memory. Yeah, fine. Now whenever a function is called, activation record will be created. Okay, so initially when this function was called outside, activation record for that call could have made. Okay, inside this activation record there will be 1 2 3 4 blocks created, because there are 4 at the time of creation of activation area. 4 blocks will be created because you have 4 arguments. So one block for each and every argument. So one, second argument, third argument, third block, and fourth argument, fourth block. What's the name of the block given? First block is pointer P. Second block is pointer Q. Third block is I value. And fourth block is position value. Now, what is the data initially we'll be calling? Initially, we'll be passing the address of the first node. What is the address of first node? 200. So first of all, 200 will be stored here. 200, address 200. Next one, what Q? Q should take, by default, it should take null. By default, it should take null. Then, what I will be doing? I will be starting from 1. First node. Position. Let us consider that we need to delete third position element. So now we enter into the block, and first condition is we position equal to 1. No, position is not equal to 1, it is equal to 3. So if is not true, so we will come to else if. In else if we have I less than position. Is I less than position? Yes, I is less than position. 1 less than 3. So I less than position is confirmed. So I will enter inside else if, and there is a recursive call. So for that call, one more activation area will be created on top of the existing activation record. And inside this activation record, 4 blocks will be created. Block number 1, block number 2, block number 3, and then block number 4. Okay. So now coming here to this 4 blocks, let us provide each and every block a name. Block P, it's Q, then it is I, and then finally this is position. Now what we are passing while you are calling, what you are passing instead of P, what we are passing? Okay, so new activation record has created with block P, Q, I, position. What is the argument that we are passing instead of every value? Instead of P, you're passing P of next. What is initial P? 200. What is 200 of next? 200 of next is 330. So now P will be having 330 in place. So 330. And what you're passing instead of Q? You're passing P value, which is 200. So now Q will be storing the address 200. Next thing, I plus 1. Initially I was 1. Again I plus 1 means it is equal to 2. Position, same position. So position equal to 3. After filling all these values, start from first line. If position equal to 1, no, condition false. Then else if I less than position, 2 less than 3, yes, condition true. Enter inside a recursive call. So one more activation record will be created on top of existing record, and it will be having four block actually. Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Okay, so each and every block will be having a name. Okay, each and every block will be having a name. The name is actually P, then it is Q, I, then position. Right? So P, Q, I, position. So now what you are trying to pass? P of next instead of P. What is P here? 330. What is 330 of next? 520. Okay, I think, but in between there was a node which I have deleted here. So I think let us consider there is a node. There is a node called as 450. Okay, let us take 520 itself. 520. We will take 520. And let us try to delete that node itself. Last node. So now it is 520, the address. What will be your Q value? Q value, you are passing P. So P is 330. So your Q is now 330. I value, I plus 1 is 2 plus 1, 3. Position remains the same, 3. Now, again I enter. Position equal to 1. Condition false. Else if I less than position, condition false, because 3 is not less than 3. So enter else condition. In else condition, you have a procedure. So perform this procedure. Automatically what will happen? Q of next and P of next. Okay, whatever is in P of next will be stored in Q of next. What is in Q? What is in P? 520. What is 520 of next? 520 of next is null. So that null should be stored in Q of next. What is Q? 330. In 330 of next. 330 of next means in this spot we need to store null, which means that we are going to delete this, right? When you delete this, automatically this will become the last node. So this is the last node. This is will be having null, and after that this pointer P will be using, with the help of free function, this memory block will be deallocated. That's why the next line, see, that's the next line that we have, free of P, right? 1 minute. So here what will happen? Null will be taken, stored here in between node. This node will be deleted with the help of free function, right? So after this else part is executed, we will come out and we will be returning null, which means that first node is not deleted. So when this return statement is executed, therefore we can delete the activation area. So this activation area deleted, enter into next activation area. I think we have been executing up to this line, r delete node. After that there is no other line inside else if. So I come out of a else, total if else if else block, we will come out. Return null will be executed, which means this activation record deleted. Similarly, the next activation record also will get it deleted, and the total execution is actually completed, stopped. Total execution is completely stopped. Right? Fine. So this is all about how this recursive code is working in the main memory. In the next video, we will start with the implementation of both iterative as well as recursive procedure. Okay. Thank you, students. Thank you.